Okay. All right. Hey, you guys. So I'm just going to talk for a little bit and then I'm going to open it up for you guys. If you guys have specific questions or things that you guys want to talk about. First of all, I'm going to see who's on. Okay, cool. We just obviously got home from leadership and it's just always so refreshing to hear from Carl and to hear from other leaders and to really just remember why we do what we do every single day. Because I think lots of times when we get behind our computers and we get on our phones and we have life happening and our kids running around and all that stuff, it's like, I don't know, it's easy to just kind of get into the monotonous routine of doing the daily stuff, or maybe you're not even doing the daily stuff, which is even worse. But it's so much bigger than fitness and nutrition. And so I want you guys really quick to think about the vision that you have for your life. So I want you guys to, after the call, because I'm not going to give you a bunch of time to sit here in silence. After the call, I want you to get so clear on the life that you want to create. Like think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, what you want every single day to look like. From start to finish, when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. Like what do you want your days to look like? Where do you live? Who are you surrounded by? How do you spend your time? How do you feel? Like how do you feel every single day? And what are you doing? How are you spending your time? Like you guys need to get so clear on these things. And then you have to 100% believe that you can make it happen, that it's in your control, because it is. It's 100% possible for every single one of you to create the life that you want to live. And you have to understand that, because unless you are confident in yourself and unless you're confident in this opportunity that it can take you anywhere you want to go, you aren't going to show up and do what it takes to back that up, okay? So that's the first thing that you guys have to be clear on, is what you're working towards and why you're going to show up every single day. So one of the presenters talked about, and I posted these in the team page, he talked about these 4 secrets that ultra successful businesses basically practiced and what they implemented into their businesses. And the first one was all about purpose. And I think this one is what Carl really nailed home, and especially with double time coming or double time out, just everything coming, the new nutrition plans and all that stuff. He really he talked a lot about childhood obesity and how 1 in 5 kids now are obese, which will lead to what as people get older and become adults, and all of the disease and just everything. And the fact that we legitimately can make an impact now on the parents so that they can then change the course of their families' lives is so powerful. So it just kind of reignited the fire that I have for helping people, because the purpose is so much bigger than just getting people a challenge pack and getting them started. It's so much bigger than that. These kids rely on us to change the course of their entire lives. And so I think just understanding your purpose, what lights you up, what fuels you, what makes you feel empowered, and all of those things, because unless you know that, like I said, if you're not doing the things that you need to be doing, it's because your belief isn't there, your confidence isn't there, your purpose isn't there. Everything starts in your mind. Your mindset has to be in the right place before you're ever going to show up and do the stuff that it takes to actually grow your business, to actually impact people, to actually grind every single day. Because that's ultimately, this business is easy And it's simple, but it's also very much around discipline, self-discipline, being intentional, those things. And that's not the natural, those aren't natural habits for people. People aren't good at being disciplined. They're not good at being self-motivated. They're not good at those things that it takes to be very successful at growing your business. So I want you guys to just be 100% like get off the call and just think, okay, why am I doing this? And if helping people, just like if you guys didn't listen to the National Wake Up Call, you need to. It was so good. She's like, helping people, that's not gonna be enough to make you show up and do what it takes. Like it has to be bigger than that. You have to have something, and it's so true, 100%. So you guys need to start there, okay? Now, when it comes to confidence and self-belief and all of those things, those are things that maybe you don't feel right now. Maybe you don't feel confident in who you are or what you have to offer people or whatever. But that's something that you need to continually focus on to grow. And that's why PD is hands down the most important aspect of your journey, especially as a new coach. Because you won't hit goals that are bigger than who you are as a person. And so in order to hit your big goals, you have to become the person it takes to hit those big goals. And that's why this business is so rewarding, because it's all about growth. This is a growth journey, 100%. And all we're doing is inviting people to join us, to grow with us as we live life and as we continue to learn and develop and all of those things. So that's the first thing that I want you guys to really focus on, okay? The second thing is that, and I talked about this in my training, if you missed it, I think JD recorded it. I need to upload it to YouTube, but this business is very basic and everyone overcomplicates it. Everyone. So you guys need to get very, 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 very consistent and very good at the basics. So all that is that's the 4 vital behaviors. It's doing your power hour every single day. And it's making sure that you are, like I talked about in the training, doing your crap, which is filling your funnel, expanding your network, connecting with people, and building relationships so that you have a consistent flow always of people to invite, who you're getting to know, and who you can help. Oh my gosh. And so if you guys are feeling like you're in a slump or you're getting objections or whatever, that's normal. Like I probably hear more objections than all of you combined because I'm talking to so many people. But guess what? Through the objections and through the no's and through the people who aren't ready, there's plenty of people who are ready. But you have to be making sure that you're talking to enough people. And if every single person that you're talking to is saying no, then you're just talking to the wrong people. And you need to think, okay, am I expanding my network with intention? Are these people actually people who are ready to invest in their health? Or are they 100% broke and they can't ever, like right now, they can't ever spend money on this? Like it's still a business. You still have to be smart about who you're connecting with, who you're building relationships with, who you're talking to. Do they value their health? Some people just don't, and they're not going to be good people to talk to, because no matter what you say, no matter how much value you show them, no matter how many transformations you post and results you share, they just don't give a crap. So obviously they're not going to be someone that's going to be good to talk to. So you need to really be smart about who you are connecting with, who you're expanding with, who you want to do this with, okay? Because there's millions and millions and millions of people who are obese and unhealthy, but that doesn't mean all of them want to get healthy. And that doesn't mean all of them are ready to accept help. So we need to find people who are putting things out there that are indicating, I'm unhappy, I need change, I'm ready for something. And then that's when we need to be connecting with them and building the relationship so that we can say, hey, I saw this post that you did. I don't know if you've seen my challenges that I run, but I love working with women and helping them overcome their whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's where you can fill in the hole and say, I'm here to help you, blah, 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 blah. But you can't say that to just some random person if you haven't been connected with them, because then they're just going to be like, oh my gosh, you just want to sell me crap. Okay, so that's why connecting and expanding and building the relationship is so important, because then you can be ready, you can be on the offense, and you can be looking for people who are putting things out there, or maybe they're just super positive and they're inspiring already. That's great too. You can say, hey, I love your vibe. I love your posts. I love how inspirational you are in your posts. Have you ever thought about coaching? And they'll be like, they'll say probably not, you know, but you're looking for kind of signals, or you're looking for different things that allow you to talk to people and to open that door and to plant that seed. Because whether they're ready today or not, if they continue to watch you and you continue to show up and you continue to grow and you continue to transform your life, they're gonna take notice. I can promise you that. Okay. And then you guys have to, no, you didn't. We didn't do it in the main team page. Carl talked about at the very end, he was doing this big spiel and his whole thing was like, it's totally possible. So he would say something and he'd be like, is that possible? And then the whole crowd was like, it's totally possible. So he wanted us all to, oh, you shared it. Okay. So he wanted us all to commit to helping at least 5 people in November. So it is early. It's early in the month. It's only the 6th. So I want you guys, and all of you guys that watch the recording, to make a list of 20 people who you are going to connect with the next few days, so that you can then invite them, and you can find hopefully you can find at least 5. If you can't find at least 5 from that list, you still have the rest of the month. But I promise you guys, there's people you can follow up with. There's people who you can get into a clean week or whatever you're doing, and then transition them into a real challenge. You guys all are fully capable of helping at least 5 people. And if you aren't doing that every single month, then it's just because you aren't doing what it takes every single day to meet new people, because that's what this is. It's a people business. You have to be talking to people. If you're introverted, get over it. So am I. You need to be talking to people. You need to be inviting them. You need to understand what this is that you have to offer people, because if you're holding it in and if you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be salesy, like those are all selfish, me concerns. So you need to get outside yourself and understand that you have such a gift to share with people, and you just need to find the right people to share that with. Okay. That's basically the gist of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I don't want to overcomplicate it, because really it's not. You need to believe in what you have. You need to be confident in what you have. And then you need to just understand what it's going to take to help people and to move your business forward. It's all the same thing. Help people, move your business forward, help your coaches, help people and move the business forward. And that's all that this business is. So don't ever, if you ever feel yourself like getting discouraged or overwhelmed, just kind of take a step back and be like, okay, how am I spending my time? What am I doing each day? And how can I course correct to get back on track? Because if I ever start to feel overwhelmed, it's because being overwhelmed is a choice. So that's something that you can just like flip the switch and turn it off, because that's all self-inflicted. Okay, so then you just need to get narrowed in on what you need to be doing and just cut out all the other crap, because that's when people say I'm overwhelmed, I just want to punch them in the face, kind of, because I'm like, dude, then don't be overwhelmed. Like, that's your fault. Just stop focusing on all the other crap and focus on what you need to do, because this business is so simple. But you just need to get lasered in on what you want to do and who you want to help and how you're going to do it. That's all it is, okay? Do you guys have any specific questions that you want to ask while you're on? If you do, I'll unmute you. I have lots of requests to hear how you deal with money objections. So money objections are all a confidence thing. I can guarantee I could have the same exact conversation with your people and it would be so different because I have so much confidence in not only what we have in our product, in everything that we have to offer, but in me. Like I know that if someone works with me, I will help them if they obviously show up for themselves. But you just need to be confident. One, like that's the main thing with money objections is you need to be so confident in what you have that comes through in your conversations. Because lots of times, especially new coaches, it's like, well, when do I bring up the price? I don't want to talk about the price because I don't want to scare them. Like, dude, it's friggin' $160 to change your life. Like, really? Like, let's be real. You need to be confident in that. And so when you talk about, okay, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get a full year of fitness, a full year of nutrition, access for the rest of your life with me as your coach, a month of Shakeology, and it's $160. Take it or leave it, Biddy. Like, for real, you need to be confident. That's 100%. You can get over so many money objections with that alone. But I still get money objections because people, I mean, sometimes they just legitimately don't have it, okay? That's a completely different story rather than they just don't value it, okay? So there's two different things. One, they have the money and they don't see the value, so they're not going to spend it. Or two, they legitimately don't have the money. And then we have options. They can do Clean Week. They can do free trial. So I always have a plan B. When they give me money objections, they're still getting plugged in. If they want to get started, they'll get started. And then if they don't want to do the free trial or a 7-day Clean Week or whatever, then they're just clearly not ready to change. And that's a whole different story. What are you looking for, bud? Oh. So I always offer a plan B. If I'm talking to them about a challenge group and they don't have the money to get started, I get them started. I say, okay, well, my next Clean Week is this time, or we can at least get you started with a 14-day trial. We can get you going in the right direction. I plug them in some way, somehow, so that they can surround themselves with the goodness. They can get a taste of what the challenge is like. They can get started on a program. They can get some nutrition resources. And then hopefully they'll see the value enough to say, okay, well, I'm going to save up for 2 weeks and then I'll get it on this date or whatever. But that still comes down to just being confident in what you have and how you can help them. But yeah, that's how I deal with it. Money objections. How often do you do a Clean Week? I do a Clean Week once a month. So once a month. And the way that I do it is I promote it as like they get Shakeology, they get the Clean Week sample pack thing, or I send them Shakeology. But when I have a bunch of people respond and then only like a few people actually have time to order, if I get to the point like where it's Wednesday before we're going to start the next Monday, so we're prepping Thursday through Sunday. If I get to Wednesday and I have all these people that haven't ordered their Shakeology yet and it's too late, they won't be able to get their Shakeology in time, I follow up with every single one of them and I say, hey, you won't be able to have time to get your Shakeology, but if you want to jump in on this round, you can still do the nutrition plan and the workouts. And I follow up with all of them because I still want, while yes, I want them to do Shakeology for the week because they're going to see noticeable differences, they're going to feel it, and I want them to feel it. I still want them to get a glimpse of what it's like, and other people will be talking about Shakeology too, so they'll still get a taste of that. And I just want people, the more hands-on, the more I can touch people, the more I can get in front of them, the more I can kind of help them get a feel for what it's all about, the more likely they're going to be to then want to do an actual challenge. So that's my flow with how I do my Clean Week, is I promote a free group not a free group. I promote Clean Week where they're doing a 7-day jump start. They invest in Shakeology and then they get the other stuff for free. But the people who don't get it, I follow up and say, you can just jump in and it won't be anything, but you won't have time to get Shakeology. So I had a handful that did that this time too. And one girl already messaged me today, and it's Monday, just started. She's like, hey, so and she was asking me about Shakeology. So you just want to get them in front of it and get them kind of to be a part. And that's the only free group that I offer. Everything else I promote is my paid group for all the other Mondays. Nice. How do you get more people interested with your promotions for your challenge groups? What do you mean? Like when I'm just doing call to actions and stuff? Yeah. I talk about it in all different ways. So like, for instance, this week I'm going to be promoting my double time challenge that's going to start on the 13th. So like the post that I did last night, that was like looking for moms who have kids between 5 and 16 or whatever, and you'd like to be more healthy as a family. Like that's what I did. And then anyone who comments I'll make a video on information for the town. So I'll say, hey, I'm doing this exclusive group. Focus on the family. You're going to be incorporating your kids. Like, I'm really pumped about it, blah, blah, blah. And they'll get information about it. And then if they're not ready, they're not ready. But so I promote my challenges in all different ways. So, and then I'll talk about it in my stories and in my like soft jab when I'm doing certain things with my kids. And so it just depends. But lots of my challenge promotions aren't actual like challenge group promotions. So I'm talking about it in all different ways. And then I'm personally inviting behind the scenes a lot with people that I've just been connecting with that I know they have kids, or I know they have talked to me about their kids sucking at eating. So I'll say, hey, we're going to do an exclusive group that's focusing on helping your kids eat healthier and incorporating a family lifestyle and blah, blah, blah. Would you be interested in something like this? Do you want me to send you over information? So lots of it is just kind of the soft jabs, getting them in different ways. And then I'll do an actual challenge group promotion from that and invite everyone that interacts and stuff like that.
I feel like you, after like every one of your posts, like a workout picture, you like at the bottom be like, you always say something about your group, and people.
Yeah, lots of times I do.
And you don't write like a huge long thing every time. It's something super short and sweet, and it's not like you're promoting your challenge group, but you're talking about it, so people are like, what's that, every time. So
yeah, and lots of times I'm just mentioning it, and I'm not doing like you can jump in, blah blah.
It's not like every time you're not saying comment below, you're just talking about it. So at some point they're gonna say something.
Yeah.
Messaging, inviting, seriously, that's where I get 95% of my people is through private invites every single time. So if you're not inviting, it's going to be a lot harder.
Seriously.
And I even noticed, like I didn't send much invites over the weekend, and then this morning I'm like, oh, I don't have anybody to talk to, and I'm like, well, duh, because I didn't invite all day Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So yeah, of course I don't have anybody I'm talking to. I'm following up with a couple people, but I don't have people to talk to because I haven't sent invites.
Yeah. Elise said, how do you find the right people to connect with? You need to just figure out who you connect with. Like, what kind of people do you want to hang out with every single day? What are their interests? What are their hobbies? What are their beliefs? What are their, you need to really narrow in on what kind of people you want to be with. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. And then intentionally finding them on Instagram. So I'll find a really solid account. So I'm not picky. Like, as far as who I want to connect with, I just want to connect with high energy, positive people. Like, that's honestly I don't care if they're 18. I don't care if they're 60. But the majority of my people are women, and lots of them are moms, but I have lots that aren't moms. And so I don't have like a 25-year-old, 2 kids, likes to shop. I don't have like that specific of an avatar. I just want to connect with positive, like-minded people who are into living a healthy lifestyle and want to better their life. And so how you find people like that is I find accounts on Instagram that are like, even like mom blogs or whatever. Like you can find solid accounts, and then I go through the comments of those and find people who are connecting with that type of person, and then I just go to their page, and you can tell in like 3 seconds if they're a person that you'd want to connect with or not. And then I just do the 531 stuff, liking, commenting, follow, and then just put them on my list. I can keep rolling back around and connecting with them. Candace said, I have a few that get a lot of people hung up on the fact that we represent an MLM. I know I've heard you respond to that before. But what do you say to someone if they throw out the MLM objection? I really don't. I don't know. Like, give me an example of what they don't want to do. Like, they don't want to coach because it's an MLM, or they don't want to do a challenge because it's an MLM, or what?
I have a few coaches who actually have people who get really snotty about, oh, you're with one of those, you know, like, but even if it is someone you've invited to coaching, there's just, sometimes you get kind of blindsided by someone who's like, oh, you're with one of those. So how do you respond to that? Because I know I've heard you do it before where you're just like, yeah, and it's awesome, you know?
Well, it depends. It depends. First, I relate to them because I say, yeah, I thought the same thing. Like I was super annoyed with how lots of people do stuff when they're in MLMs. And then I just say like, but believe it or not, like this is promoting a lifestyle, and we just have some incredible products that help you live a healthy life. So if you want to eat right, exercise, like be healthy the right way, it's not just products and gimmicks and whatever. Like that's what we promote. We promote living a healthy and fulfilling life. It's just set up in a way that you can take it as far as you want to go, and the sky's the limit. So it just depends on how the conversation's flowing, and what they're objecting to. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just very, like, stuff like that doesn't bug me anymore because, one, I was super turned off and still am by most MLM people because they are freaking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But two, I don't know. I just am confident in what we are and how we do things and how it's set up. So I don't really care. And if they're going to let old school bullies hold them back, then sucks for them because times are changing. I'd say get with the program, lady. There's a reason every friggin' person on Facebook is selling something because that's just the new age. Yeah, I don't know.
Nope, that was perfect. I think a lot of the time, like you said in the beginning, it comes straight back to confidence. And I think with newer coaches, they're still trying to find that confidence. So when someone throws something like that at them, it's like deer in the headlights. What do I do? So I just think it's going to help a lot of the newer coaches to hear how you would handle that from a place of confidence so that they can imitate that until they have their own.
Yeah. And lots of people are like, I don't know. There was a couple really good articles back a while ago that were about network marketing and about social media in general, like running businesses on social media. Shoot, our next call's starting. We got to get off. But those helped too, some new coaches, because it just talked about like the millennium and how everything was changing and how if you aren't leveraging social media and you aren't like that, you're totally missing the boat. And so maybe looking up, I think one of them was on HuffPost. I can't remember. But if you Googled it, I bet you could find a couple, and those might help them too.
It's a good idea.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll send you the recording, Candace. You can send
Thank
it to
you.
the rest of your team. Okay.
Sweet.
Bye, you guys.
See ya.
See you guys.